Hey, family. This is Dr. Felicia Vaughn coming to you to just do a book review today on a book that I just finished reading recently titled Legacy. A Black Physician Reckons with Racism in Medicine by Dr. Uché Blackstock. Amazingly, I found out about this book through a Caucasian physician and an Asian medical student who is now a physician when I attended the National Poetry Therapy Association conference this past April. And when I attended their poetry workshop that dealt with utilizing poetry with physicians, they told me about this book. And so I bought it and read it and found it very interesting, number one, that Dr. Blackstock has a rich history, a rich legacy in regards to the fact that her mother graduated from Harvard University Medical School, and then subsequently her and her sister also graduated from Harvard University Medical School. But then she goes on to discuss the sad legacy of dealing with racism in medicine, just like her mother did, I believe, back in the 70s. And she goes on to discuss many of the atrocities that happen towards Black bodies, all in the name of science, that actually show up in healthcare today, which for some Black people make healthcare feel more like hell. And so I found this such an interesting read, not just for understanding the history of how medicine has used Black bodies and has impacted our health and well-being, but also how our Black physicians who are in medicine today in order to help, they went in to help, how many of them are being treated by a healthcare system that suffers from systematic racism. And so I would encourage you, even if you're not a doctor, even if you're not in healthcare, listen, we're all patients. We're all patients at one time or another. And what this book really did was it gave me empathy, especially for the Black female physicians that oversee my care in regards to really, I guess, asking them about their day, asking them about how they're doing. I know when we go in to see the doctor, in many cases, we're concerned about ourselves, rightly so. But we're called to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. So to go in and just say, hey, how are you doing? What's going on in your world these days? And just to show our Black doctors that we care about them, we need them. We need them in this system. And so, because in many cases, as she discussed, they serve as advocates, or at least they should serve as advocates for all their patients, but especially their Black patients. Because many of those atrocities that happened in history still show up in medicine today. They still show up in medicine today, which means many brown people, Black and brown people, don't always get the good care that is rightfully theirs, just simply as a matter of being human beings. Human beings, being souls. And so I believe she has left medicine to go on and start her own company. And I think that's wonderful, but oh my goodness, we need our Black physicians to hunker down and stay in place if they're willing, in order for many of us to go in and have a certain level of comfort with your physician, and at least hoping that they will give you the care you need. Now, I will say, I have experienced some great care from some Caucasian female physicians who really showed me dignity, love and dignity. But we want medicine to look like America. Bottom line, we want medicine to look like America. And so she goes on to discuss some of the things in her book. She talks about how racism impacts physician burnout. 1 in 5 U.S. healthcare workers have left medicine. She talked about something that I was really shocked at learning about: patient and patient family violence towards physicians. She talked about how many black physicians, how their qualifications and their positions are questioned. They're thought to be more of the person, that cleans, the custodian, as opposed to, the physician. They're questioned on their qualifications. And so I would encourage you to just pick this book up and just read about it. If nothing else, I think a lot of times when we open up ourselves to another person's world, it helps to give us empathy. And it helps to give us understanding, which I believe leads to empathy. And the Bible says, in all your ways, get understanding. So understanding, reading, really for me is a form of soul care. And so again, I would encourage you to pick up Legacy: A Black Physician Reckons with Racism in Medicine by Dr. Uché Blackstock, in order to help expand your horizon on what black physicians in medicine are going through. All right, I hope I've used my words well. I encourage you to use your words well, because God is watching and listening. Until next time, family, bye-bye.